Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Berkeley County Board of Education meeting this Tuesday, January 30th, 2018. I call this meeting to order. I declare a quorum is present and the media has been notified. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Ms. Conder, a second by Reverend Spann to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? We are working into this committee structure. We are working to put the executive session first. The regular session will start back at 6:30, so we hope that we'll work into this process where you will have until 6:30 to register for citizens' comments. So we'll go into executive session, we'll come out, and the regular session will start at 6:30. So we will have people register for citizen comments up until 6:30 tonight. Is there any further discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The agenda is approved. We'll now entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. McQuillan, a second by Mr. Ramsey to enter into executive session. The stated purpose of executive session is to discuss a pending employment matter to include an appointment of an administrator and personnel, 2 student expulsion appeals. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are in executive session. We'll now entertain a motion to return to regular session.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Reverend Spann, a second by Mr. Ramsey to return to regular session. Is there any discussion? I'd like to state for the record that no action was taken in executive session. We'll now call the question to return to regular session. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. We are in regular session. Would you now please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated. Now entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the executive session meeting on January 16th, 2018.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion by Mr. McQuillan, a second by Reverend Spann. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor of approving the minutes from executive session on January 16th, 2018, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The minutes are approved. We'll now entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the board workshop on January 16th, 2000.
Make the motion.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Ramsey, a second by Mr. McQuillan. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The minutes are approved. We'll now move on to agenda item 3D, which is signing of the South Carolina Board Member Ethical Principles. As members of the Berkeley County School District, we pledge our efforts to improve public education in our community and will solemnly try to represent the interest of the entire district when making decisions and to rely on available facts and on our judgment rather than on individuals or special interest groups. We will understand the proper role of the board to set policies governing the district and to hire the chief administrative officer to carry out these policies. We will encourage an open exchange of ideas by all board members during the decision-making process. We will seek regular communication between the board and students, staff, and all segments of the community. We will attend all board meetings to study issues facing the board and to enact policies and official actions only after full discussion at such meetings. We will work with other board members in a conscientious and courteous manner, befitting the public trust placed in the position of a school board trustee. We will communicate concerns and public reaction to board policies and school programs to the superintendent and other board members in a professional manner. We will support employment of the persons best qualified for staff positions and to ensure a regular and impartial evaluation of all staff. We will avoid conflicts of interest and refrain from using our board positions for personal or partisan gain. We will encourage recognition of the achievement of students and staff and of the involvement of community residents. We will support legislation and funding which will improve the education opportunities and environment for staff and students. We take no individual action which would compromise the integrity of the board or administration, and to respect the confidentiality of information that is privileged under the Freedom of Information Act. We will study current educational issues to participate in training programs such as those offered through the School Board Association and National School Board Association. We will make our district's educational setting the best possible to encourage all students to achieve and to love learning. We'll now invite the board down to the table in front to sign the ethical principles.
Oh, I can't either. I know.
Thank you, sir. Speaking of board service, we'll now move on to legacy builders and special recognition, and we'll start first with our board member, Frank Wright, for 20 years of service. I'd like to invite Dr. Ingram down to the podium to award Mr. Wright with his pin.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman and board members. It is with honor that and my privilege to award Mr. Frank Wright for 20 years of service to the Berkeley County community as a member of the South Carolina School Boards Association and of the local Berkeley County School District School Board. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been in this business for 37 years, and I have encountered many board members. And I can truthfully say, Mr. Wright, that you have always, in the 5 short months I've known you, you've conducted your business with a calm, professional demeanor, a discerning intelligence, and a thorough thinking through or thoughtfulness in all matters. And from everything that I have witnessed, your ethical standards are second to none. And I truly appreciate what you have done. I appreciate what you will do. And I'm sure that everybody in this auditorium joins me in congratulating you for 20 years. It is no small feat to hold an elected office for 20 years. So, Mr. Wright, on behalf of everybody in Berkeley County, thank you so much for everything that you've done.
Wow. It really don't seem as though it's been 20 years, but just to make it very short, the first time I was elected to this board in 1998, our board chair was Carolyn Lewis, and she gave me a phone call that night, and she said to me that, Mr. Wright, in her voice, I want you to know that I'm going to be working with you, and we aren't going to agree on everything. And we have 8 board members, and we all represent different districts, and they all will be different. But what I want you to know is that the one thing that I can assure that we will do, that we will all come together to do everything that we possibly can for the whole county, for Berkeley County students. And I've applied that principle for the last 20 years, and I want to thank Carolyn Lewis for informing me and giving me the direction of what a board member responsibilities were, and I thank her for that. So just going forward, I thank Carolyn Lewis for those words of wisdom. And I thank you all for allowing me to serve you for 20 years. And so many board members, all of you have been wonderful, even though we differ. I want you to know that. Matt, we're still friends. And I just want you to know that I've learned that from her. And so thank you all for sharing these 20 years with me. And I hope that I've been a good servant of Berkeley County for all students. So thank you very much.
You can't. Why don't you get in the middle? I was going to say, you can't stand up there. You got to get short. Mm-hmm. As he's going back to his seat, Frank truly is the voice of reason all the time, and he really does live the principle to be friends and get along even when you disagree, and he always applies past thought processes, reminding us what has been done in the past, reminding us how to be fair and also how to be friends, and laugh and get along, because we spend a lot of time together. So having someone who has all the experiences that Frank has, to ground us, to remind us to enjoy the service, to get along and laugh, and break the ice is just a tremendous blessing. I appreciate the time I've spent working with you, and I thank you so much. Next up, we're going to invite Mr. Dion Jackson up to the podium for the Post and Courier Low Country Girls Swimmer of the Year Award. Oh, am I inviting the wrong person? Mr. Brian Rummy.
All right, that's okay.
It's okay.
I'll blame it on the superintendent. That's my job. It's all the superintendent's fault.
Good evening, Chairman Wofford, Superintendent Ingram, and members of the board. It is an honor to stand before you to introduce the Legacy Builders portion of tonight's meeting. We enjoy recognizing all of the tremendous accomplishments of Berkeley County students. We have students doing tremendous work in and out the classroom, and it's important that our community see that we have great and awesome students. It is my pleasure to ask Brian Roney, District Athletic Director, to come forward to introduce a special group of athletes.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Dr. Ingram, members of the board, guests. It is my privilege to introduce several outstanding athletes who are being recognized for their accomplishments this past fall in their respective sports. If I could have those students come forward and just stand in this aisle behind this group of individuals, I'll be happy to introduce you, and we'll have a plaque for you, and we'll have a group picture towards the end. Yes, or actually, I want to have you face the board, and then we'll. Here we go. Thank you very much. Great kids, aren't they? Asking great questions. First, we'll start with Sarah Mundy from Berkeley High School. Sarah is the Poston Courier Low Country Girls Swimmer of the Year. She is state champion swimmer in the 50-yard freestyle and 100-yard freestyle. Sarah. Sarah, we'll have you come this way and get your plaque. That's outstanding. Congratulations. And we'll have a group picture, I think, at the end. Okay. Next, I'd like to introduce several of our football players who participated in the North-South game this year. First, we have Blake Jenkins Williams from Berkeley High School, played defensive line. Next is Tate McMurray, Berkeley High School, kicker. Quincy Mitchell, Hanahan High School, running back. Chris Copeland, Cane Bay High School, running back. Keyshawn Mays, Goose Creek High School, defensive line. And you notice we have one last athlete standing here, and that is representing the Shriners Bowl. This is where the 40 top senior football players are selected to represent South Carolina. And they play North Carolina. And representing Cross High School, Nathan Walker. So congratulations to the parents, family members, coaches, staff. We'll get one group picture, and then maybe after that, just one last round of applause for their recognition. Thank you.
Everybody squeeze in just a little bit. All right, we're good.
Hold tight. There's a lot of mamas here. Come on, mamas with the cameras.
They pull this one out.
At this time, I would like to introduce Tana Lee, Director of Career and Technical Education, who will recognize the STEM Premier Badge winners.
Good evening. Thanks for allowing me to come and recognize the accomplishments of our students. As you can see, we had lots of athletes, but we also have some stellar academic achievements that we need to recognize in our students. And tonight, we're going to recognize 3 students, 2 of whom are here. Can I get German? Can you come up here, Castor? Can you come up here? You know, we've been preparing our students for careers for a very long time. We used to call them vocational programs. We've switched. We call them career and technical education programs. These guys are in a graphics technology program. The student, Jessica, that's not here, she's also in the same graphics program. This was put out across the district as a design contest to create a badge for STEM Premier. And I won't ask for a show of hands. Who knows what STEM Premier is, but I'll explain it very easily as the LinkedIn for kids. It's a great way for them to showcase their talent. And they've created a badge that is going to be used from now until the end. I don't know how long STEM Premier is going to be around or how long these kids are going to be using the system, but they can use it as graduates. And what the badge is going to tell us is that they've completed a program that has prepared them for a career of their choice. And for them, it's graphics. So they've designed this badge. It's going to have a Berkeley County template as the framework, and every child who completes from now until will submit and get a badge. It's a digital badge. And what that means to us is that they've completed our programs, but what it means to industry is that they have truly decided that it was important, they put in the work, and they've earned the badge. So guys, congratulations. German has won first place, and he's getting a $100 check. Wow. And then Castor has won third place, and he is getting a $50 check. And we've also got, you want to come up here? Shay Tai from STEM Premier. We wanted to get a picture, and we want to publicize that we have partnered with them now for 4 years. They started right here in Berkeley County, and they were our second academy partner to come and help our students in the classroom. And as you can see, he's still here helping them. He's helping them to fine-tune the badge so that it is truly a graphic representation, and it's going to look very professional, and they get to work with a real graphic designer to do it. So, do you want to
Gentlemen, and I'm sorry the young lady isn't here tonight, and I'm sure she would want to be here, but this is just as much for her. I just want to say something about Berkeley County School District first. As Ms. Tana said, and I know Dr. Ingram from a little bit of the past, and Dr. O'Gorman, I know you very well, and I've met a lot of people here at Berkeley County School District over the past 4 years. Our company, STEM Premier, has Berkeley County School District to thank for everything that we are. This was the very first district that took a chance on us to let us prove that what we were doing has merit. And it's blossomed to something we never thought it could be, and it's so amazing. And we have Berkeley County School District to thank for that. So for that, I thank you on behalf of STEM Premier. We wouldn't be where we are without you. Now, when it comes to the contest, Tana and Heidi, they sent me the finalists for the digital badges. And, as a graphic designer myself, I was self-taught. I didn't go into a program. I didn't discover it till I was halfway through college. Unfortunately, I couldn't go back to another degree. My mom and dad would have murdered me. For real. But I wish I discovered graphic design when I was their age. And I'd wish I'd able to had that runway to learn the things that these people, these young men are learning. And I saw the talent in the finalists and in German and Deshaun, what y'all did. It was incredible. And to see it in such a young age, you have no idea with the graphics program and your teachers and your administration and everything you're doing here, these academies, especially the graphics academy. If I had something like this in high school, I would have been so much more prepared for everything I've experienced from here on out. So you're very fortunate to be in the program. I was blown away by your talent, and you deserve every bit of the recognition for this. Your badge is going to live on STEM Premier for a long time because we plan on being around for a long time. So congratulations.
Pastor, and we also have a plaque for you, and we want to get a picture. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And of course, Cicely made sure that we have the draft. This is not the final, but we have the draft to show you what they're working with. So the automotive, Jarman? Do you want to tell them what this is? Can we give them just a second?
This is the automotive technology badge for the CTE of automotive technology.
And what did you use to create it?
Adobe Illustrator. It's the software that we learn on and we've learned on for the past 3 years.
3 years, yeah. Nice, good job. Do you want to show the other one? Good job.
So this is the badge I created for the Building and Construction Academy, and first I would like to say thank you to STEM Premier and Berkeley County School District for giving us this opportunity, and it was really, really fun to do. But building this badge, working with my classmates and my teacher was truly a good learning experience for everyone, and I was just really happy to do it.
And then the last badge we'll go ahead and show you is the welding technology badge. It was created by Jessica at Goose Creek. And again, what they're going to do is they're going to combine all three of some of the design principles from the badges, and they're going to have a Berkeley County somehow ghosted piece in it so that it will definitely be a Berkeley County badge. Very proud of it. Yeah. All right, ready? Yes. Squeeze. Squish.
Scoot in a little more. Okay. Here we go. People in the back. Yeah, I'm taller.
Congratulations again to all of our CTE students and athletes. This concludes the Legacy Builders for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much for attending. If you came only for a recognition of someone special to you, please feel free to head out the door. We always have such impressive athletes, staff, and be above all of that, students. It is definitely the best part of what we do here. We'll now move on to citizen comments. In order to conduct the meeting in an orderly and efficient manner, we ask that you honor the following guidelines. Stakeholder comments are welcomed and encouraged. However, the board will not take immediate action on public comments at this meeting. Any person wishing to address the board must register prior to 6:30 p.m. Comments must be regarding programs, policies, or procedures. Comments regarding complaints against employees other than district-level executives or references to students other than the child of the speaker will not be heard in public session. Groups addressing the same topic should select one speaker. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The board chair reserves the right to allot additional time or halt public comments that do not adhere to the guidelines. First up, I'd like to welcome Mr. Ralph Jacob to discuss Kelly Services.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Again, my name is Ralph Jacob. I'm currently a Kelly Services employee and also a Berkeley County resident. Being a Kelly Service employee makes me a visitor at your high schools when I perform the duties of a substitute teacher. I consider myself a professional and take my responsibilities very seriously. High school students have never respected substitute teachers to the same degree which they do their permanent teachers. The small amount of respect that we used to have is vanishing. Substitute teachers are expected to enforce rules and deal with issues that we never had during my high school days. Gender, race, religion, politics, cell phones, they've all added to our daily challenges. Maintaining order is our chief requirement and kind of the baseline. But educating young people as substitutes often become a pipe dream to us. I have further observed several changes in my 2.5 years of service to Berkeley County Schools. First, subs on average are older and have less positive attitudes about their work environment because many of them are required to have these jobs and they're kind of strained in doing that. Also, more full-time teachers are taking time off and showing less dedication to their craft because of national and local policymakers that may continue to attack their profession. They are frustrated by some of these changes and have been made themselves feel less effective at their jobs. Faculty and staff are spending more and more time monitoring hallways and lunchrooms. Berkeley County substitutes reportedly have the lowest pay in the region. They often have to travel 30 to 40 miles on an assignment. I've been told that the pay has not been increased since Kelly Services has taken that over. I feel it's a matter of respect, and if the board, I understand they have a proposal in front of you. I'm not exactly aware of what it is, but I think if you respect us as workers, that'll help us in a long way, because unfortunately, if we don't feel respected, it's hard for us to ask the administrators, faculty, or especially the students to actually respect us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Up next, I'd like to invite Mr. Willis Sanders to discuss board recognition.
Good evening. Good evening. Madam Chairperson, members of the board. First, on behalf of the community and county, I'd like to thank and recognize you for your services as a Berkeley County School District school board member. You have personal notes at your stations. Secondly, I want to recognize board member Frank Wright for his 20 years of service. For 15 years, from 1998 to 2013, as the Berkeley County School District level administrator, I had the opportunity to serve on the superintendent's cabinet, where recommendations were made to the board when Mr. Wright was a member. Many of the Berkeley County School District goals and missions were achieved in the academics, athletics, facilities, and extracurricular. Thirdly, on a personal note, when I made the transition in 2013 to the role of being a community servant, Mr. Wright became one of my mentors because of his vast experience as a board member. As a board member of the Berkeley Electric Co-op, the Kennedy Center, and Sheriff Advisory, Mr. Wright has provided me with ongoing, sincere, and honest advice on seeing the operations of these agencies from different perspectives, while focusing on their missions. In the case of the Berkeley County School District, students' interest was dear to his heart, and he inspired in me, as a member of the co-op, the members of the best interests in my role. Fourthly, of the many achievements that Mr. Wright has made, the one that will be a testament to his legacy was the one related to the naming of the Philip Simmons Schools in the Kent Hoy Hugie area. It is truly a tribute to the late Mr. Simmons and a reminder of his legacy for future generations. Therefore, on behalf of the community, I want to present this artwork of the late Mr. Philip Simmons in recognition of his services. It was done in a pointillistic style, with each dot representing the many students, the heart to reflect his love for the Berkeley County School District, and the cross to remind him of the determination to fulfill his role during his 20 years and hopefully many, many more. So, Mr. Wright, I'd like to present this to you at this point. You have a speech. It's done in purple and gold as a member of Q Sci-Fi.
No, Willis, I just thank you for this. You sure you didn't have someone to take a picture and frame this? Did you actually
tell the whole story now?
And you did this artwork yourself? But it's very beautiful, and I do appreciate you for the many years that I've worked with you and all the others. Because it's all about teamwork and concept to make it better for all the students. And I thank you for all you've done. Do appreciate it. Thank you.
There's something to keep it in.
That's cool.
We'll now move on to action items as required from executive session.
Excuse me for 1 second.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry. I have my 4th grade teacher here tonight, and I can't not acknowledge her. This is Mrs. Chisholm. She was probably the reason why I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing now, for the many spankings that she's given me. And she called me today. And will you please stand for me, Miss Chisholm? I just want you to know that you truly have made a difference in my life, and I will always love you, and I'm indebted to you for the rest of my life. Thank you for being who you are, and I just hope that your drive back home will be very safe. I see that you brought your partner with you, so you told me if you could find someone to ride with you would come to Mounts Corner tonight, so thank you for coming. I do appreciate it.
Amen.
I wasn't always bad, was I? I had a good mother. Okay, thank you. I am 58 years old, so I just want you to know that she's not a young lady anymore.
She was definitely
But she looks beautiful.
I was going to say, she was 10 when she was teaching you.
She tells me that all the time.
We're going to move on now to agenda item 6A, which is the action that's required from our previous executive session.
Madam Chairwoman, the Committee on Academics.
No, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused here. I'd like to make a motion to accept the recommendation of the administration to name Ms. Kristen Rogers as the new assistant principal for College Park Elementary with a contract to take effect January 31st, 2018.
There's a motion by Ms. Conder, a second by Mr. McQuillan, to accept the recommendation of our administration to name Ms. Kristen Rogers as the new assistant principal for College Park Elementary with a contract to take effect January 31st, 2018. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Congratulations, Ms. Rogers. Did you bring anybody with you tonight? Your husband. Thank you, husband. All of the good staff that we have lots of people that support them in serving this school district. So it's a double assignment. It's assignment for your wife, but an assignment for you as well. So congratulations, and we are very looking forward to you becoming the new assistant principal.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the recommendation of administration to name Andre Latson as the Director of Accounting for Berkeley County Schools with a contract to take effect January 31st, 2018.
Second. There's a motion by Ms. Kelly, a second by Wofford, to accept the recommendation of the administration to name Andre Ladson as the Director of Accounting for Berkeley County Schools with a contract to take effect January 31st, 2018. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Congratulations, Ms. Ladson. Stand up. Did you make your people come out?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to accept the recommendation of administration to name Marcia Abramson as the Director of Procurement for Berkeley County School with the contract to take effect January 31, 2018.
Second.
There's a motion by Reverend Spann, a second by Mr. Barrow, to accept the recommendation of the administration to name Marcy Abrahamson as the Director of Procurement for Berkeley County Schools with a contract to take effect January 31st, 2018. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Marcy, I wish we could say your name, but we'll just call you Marcy.
Abramson.
Abramson. Did you make any of your people come out tonight? Well, we know for the job you do, you have to have lots of moral support. Next, I make a motion to accept the recommendation of our administration to name Tammy Ware as the Director of Financial Services and Budgeting for Berkeley County Schools with a contract to take effect January 31st, 2018.
Second.
There's a motion by Wofford, a second by Mr. McQuillan, to accept the recommendation of the administration to name Tammy Ware as the Director of Financial Services and Budgeting for Berkeley County Schools with a contract to take effect January 31st, 2018. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you, Tammy. Now you have to make your people stand up because I can see them. Thank you, Brian. What you may not know about these three ladies is they have been in the trenches for almost exactly 12 months. We are almost exactly 12 months to the day from being called by the FBI to start dealing with the embezzlement schemes that have faced us for a year. And these three ladies have worked and worked and worked so hard to help us get on stable footing, to understand what we were facing, and to try to put together all the pieces. You have been tremendous and truthful and just valiant employees for this school district. So thank you. We could have not gotten through these last 12 months without you. Thank you so much. We also have tonight, it does not require board action, but we wanted to recognize Mr. Denny McDaniel, who has been on our staff and been at Berkeley County School District, but he has been named as the head football coach at Stratford High School, and we are very glad that he is staying on in the district and stepping into those head football coach shoes. They are not easy to fill, but welcome, Denny, and congratulations on your promotion. Next, from executive session, we'll now entertain a motion for the expulsion appeal of student number 1.
Madam Chairman, I move to grant his appeal and put the student on strict probation, allowing him to remain at his school.
Second.
There's a motion by Ms. Conder, a second by Mr. Wright. to assign student number one, to grant the appeal of student number one, send him back to the home school on strict probation. All in favor, please raise your hand. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? 6-3, motion carries. We'll now entertain a motion for student number two.
Madam Chair, in the matter of student number two, I move that we uphold the expulsion.
Second.
So there's a motion by Mr. McQuillan to uphold the expulsion of student number two. There's a second by Reverend Spann. All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Is there any other action as required from executive session? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which are reports from our standing committees. First, a report from the Committee on Academics and Innovation, Chairwoman Ann Conder.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. The Committee on Academics and Innovation met on January the 16th, 2018. On recommendation of the committee, I move to approve planning for H.E. Bonner Elementary to become an arts-infused magnet school for the 2018-2019 school year as part of the district strategic planning process, and to allow administration to develop a registration process for the spring of 2018 that would allow students outside of the Bonner attendance zone to register at Bonner for the 2018-2019 school year.
We have a recommendation from a committee. No second is required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Ms. Conder.
Okay. Also, on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the following courses for elective credit as submitted by administration for second reading. Steel Drums 2, College Prep. Steel Drums 3, College Prep and Honors. Steel Drums 4, College Prep and Honors. Creative Writing 2, College Prep and Honors. And African American Studies.
We have a recommendation from a standing committee. No second is required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay.
Madam Chairwoman, that concludes my report.
Next, we'll move on to the Committee on Finance and Human Resources, Chairman Michael Ramsey.
Madam Chairwoman, the Committee on Finance and Human Resources met on January 16, 2018. On recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the recommended increase in substitute compensation, including teachers, teachers' assistants, child nutrition, and custodians.
We have a recommendation from a standing committee. No second is required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay.
Madam Chairwoman, that concludes my report.
Next, we'll move on to the Committee on Facilities and Capital Planning, Chairman Mac McQuillan.
Madam Chairwoman, the Committee on Facilities and Capital Planning met on January 16, 2018. On recommendation of the committee, I move to change the name of Goose Creek Primary School to Goose Creek Elementary School to take effect in the fall of 2018.
We have a recommendation from the standing committee. No second is required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay.
Also, on recommendation of the committee, I move to change the name of Sedgefield Intermediate School to Mount Holly Elementary School to take effect in the fall of 2018.
We have a recommendation from a standing committee. No second is required. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair. I would like some understanding on changing the name in the Sedgefield area. What was the purpose again?
I'm going to answer, but if I'm wrong, you can correct me. The grade configuration changed, and they're called an intermediate school, so they would have to become an elementary school. We already have a Sangaree Elementary School, so they...
Sedgefield.
I mean Sedgefield. I did not mean to say Sangaree. Sedgefield. And so they worked with the community for a name change, but they can't stay intermediate, from what I understand. Is there more details?
Yes, ma'am. There was a grade configuration change, so the intermediate part is a part of the official name. They'll no longer be an intermediate school. The school's administration and the school staff and also community thought it was an opportunity to rebrand the school, which called for, which led to the entire name being changed, and not just the last portion of intermediate to elementary. So that's where the name changed from Sedgefield Intermediate to Mount Holly Elementary came in.
I was just concerned about the Mount Holly Elementary being that it's so far away from Sedgefield location. The school is in the Sedgefield area now. Mount Holly is about, 10 miles away?
It's not quite 10. It's a few miles away, yes, sir.
So I don't see the correlation. I was thinking about that from the first I heard it. That's my only concern.
The school's administration, as well as the staff and community, got together and they searched for historical significance, and that was one of the criteria that they wanted: historical significance to the area. Mount Holly was one of those names. It was a community similar to that of Bowens Corner as well. It was Bowens Corner, Mount Holly. There were a couple other names, a couple of other smaller communities that are that relate to that area, the Goose Creek area.
Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call a question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Also, on recommendation of the committee, I move to adopt the proposed attendance lines for Foxbank Elementary School as presented by the administration for second reading, with the recommended changes to take effect in the fall of 2018.
We have a recommendation from a standing committee, so no second is required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay.
Also, on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve Contract Construction's guaranteed maximum price of $5,204,594 for Phase 2 of the Berkeley Education Center renovation, a total project cost of $7,167,700.07.
We have a recommendation from committee. No second is required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion carries.
That concludes my report.
Next on the agenda, we'd like to invite Dr. Ingram to give the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, board members. Last Friday, I held an initial meeting with our design team. The design team is made up of elementary, middle, and high school principals plus 2 teachers from our teacher forum. They will be charged with revisiting district mission and vision, along with the work that you're doing on committee meeting nights and the strategic planning processes as we move forward. Last Saturday morning, I had the privilege of attending the middle school quiz bowl competition at Cane Bay Middle. Cane Bay Middle was the overall winner. However, several middle schools won honors in core subjects. That made me feel really good that the kids just excelled in all areas. I'm excited about this. I'll be starting community group discussions in February. The first 2 are at Nexton Elementary on February 6th from 5 until 6:30. And the second will be at Ye Old Fashioned Ice Cream. I'm especially excited about that. In Monk's Corner on February 21st from 5 until 6:30. Not only will I be fielding questions, I'm going to put the audience to work on ascertaining what skills do they believe that our kids need to have in order to be successful in their future, not our past, the 21st century. So I'm looking forward to those discussions. Those aren't the only 2, but they're the first 2 that are scheduled. Congratulations to Brent Eberly, a student at Cane Bay Middle, for winning the 2018 District Spelling Bee. That makes Brent a second-time winner. Dr. Whitley, Dr. Gelman, and I went down in the second round. So Brent did a great job there. Congratulations to our new personnel, or upgraded personnel with more responsibilities. We're counting on all of you to continue doing the great job, and I echo Chairwoman Wofford's sentiments. You've been through a tough year, and you've performed admirably well, and we appreciate it. This coming Thursday night, the All-County Chorus Program will be held at Cane Bay High. The event begins at 6:30. We invite everybody out to that. This coming Saturday, I'll be speaking briefly at the 2018 STEM Festival at Brittlebank Park in Charleston around 11 a.m. It's a fairly well-attended event, I understand, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think the weather forecast is pretty good, so that's good. Our all-county band will be performing Saturday, February 10th at 4 p.m. The program will be held at the Goose Creek High School Auditorium. This is not popular, but I have to say it. We have one snow day to make up, just one, from the holiday snowstorm. If the board chooses, one of the options would be March 19th. That's a teacher workday. And we will have to address this issue in February. So at February 13th, that will be an agenda item. I would like to recognize our Teacher Forum representatives tonight, Denise Williams, Cane Bay Middle. Denise, wave. Good to see you. Thank you for all the goodies. Kirsten Gregory from Bonner Elementary. Kirsten, thank you very much. Emily Ridgely, Goose Creek High School. Thank you, Emily. Stacy Jolene, Macedonia Middle. Marilyn Edmonds, Boulder Bluff. And of course, Sharon and Nick are here as always. Thank you for being so faithful to the board, and thank you for serving on the design team. I look forward to that. And I want to call attention, board members, and to the audience. You'll find a special card at your station crafted by 1st and 4th grade students at Howe Hall Ames in recognition of Board Appreciation Month. Special thanks to Teacher Forum for the reception held this evening to honor our board, and the gift bags of cards and notes from all the students throughout the district to thank you for your service. I would personally like to thank you for service as well. It is a tough thing to be a school board member, and like Chairwoman Wofford mentioned earlier, not everybody agrees on everything. But if we roll up our sleeves and work together as a family, there's nothing we can't accomplish together. So, Madam Chairwoman, that concludes my report for the evening.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank Michael Silvestri is here as well from Bonner Elementary School. So thank you for being here.
Ms. Tran is also there from St. Stephen Elementary.
Yes, yes.
Is there anyone else from Teacher Forum that's here that we missed? Because sometimes we miss things. Okay, that's everybody. Thank you so much. We had a wonderful reception, some time to get to spend one-on-one with you, and we appreciate that. We changed our seats in the diocese recently, and Shannon was up here looking for her cards because we do stash these cards up here, and sometimes when we think we want to quit, we dig out the cards. So we are very, very appreciative, and we keep a little special stash up here to remind us while we're doing this. So it's very important and precious to us. Thank you so much. We had several things go on this week, but the first thing I wanted to do in the board chair report, the Berkeley Education Foundation needs a liaison from the board on their board. We have been missing a liaison since Ms. Schwabe has been off the board. I will be willing to serve in that capacity, but I didn't just want to take the spot. If anyone else is interested in serving on the Berkeley Education Foundation board, please let me know. There's room for more than one, but I do plan to fill that liaison position. They're changing leadership with the Berkeley Education Foundation, and they needed the liaison from the school board. So I will be filling that role. If anyone else is interested, please let me know. This past week, Ashley Smith and the superintendent, our legal counsel, and I met with Superintendent Molly Spearman to talk about our financial status and the state of the district because of the embezzlement schemes of Mr. Thomas. As you would realize, that would not be an easy meeting to have, but we are continuing to press forward in that and do everything we can to make you proud of Berkeley County. There's still more work to be done. Every day there's more work to be done, and we will be as transparent as we can as we get through that process. The other thing I want to share, which is a little contrived because I wrote it, but I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. As many of you know, and some may not, the board changed policy last year to implement a new committee structure. It's a substantial change in our governance and invites a lot of questions after years of operating in another format. I've heard some questions, so I wanted to try to answer the questions. Why did we change? The board is committed to strengthening the governance of the district and at the same time respecting the time spent by staff, stakeholders, and trustees in our meetings. A committee structure that's run correctly will bring more efficiency, which I think you got to see tonight because we're getting ready to go home when I stop talking. A committee structure that's run correctly will bring more efficiency and a stronger governance to our district. It's also more transparent, and it gives all issues and policies at least 2 meetings to receive feedback from our stakeholders prior to a final vote. Finally, to be more efficient, we are moving to an executive session at 5:30 prior to the start of the regular meeting agenda items. This will keep us focused and task-oriented for an hour and prevent the late hours by staff and stakeholders. Some people stay this late, but you may not know it is not uncommon for us to be here until 10 or 11 plus o'clock at night. That's an 18-hour day for most of us. Everybody up here has a first job, and also our staff, they're rocking. Susan Gelman's got to be rocking a 20-hour day because she was up here at 5 o'clock. It's an 18-hour day for our staff. We believe the committee structure will start at a new time, give us a better executive session, and we will be better governing. When should I come to the meeting? Anytime you want to. But the public session of the meeting will begin, as always, at 6:30. The public will be allowed to register for citizen comments up until 6:30, and any person who would be recognized for a special recognition should arrive just prior to 6:30, as they always have. When the board returns from executive session, the balance of the meeting will be public items. We could have an unusual circumstance that requires a rare occasion where we would have an additional executive session, but we expect that to be very rare. We expect to adjust and learn our new procedures as you saw us doing tonight. We expect some hiccups. Most importantly, we expect great success and a cultural board change that will improve governance and efficiency. However, if these changes don't meet our objectives of the board, we'll change again. We will not be satisfied as a board of trustees until we're performing at the highest level. A truly exemplary level of service is what our children, our employees, and our public deserves. We will not be stuck in any past practice that prevents us from operating at our highest level. I hope this helps everyone understand why we changed, and we look forward to you coming to more board meetings. If we get done by 8 o'clock, I think it will make more people want to come. So we are going to put this out in some kind of format for our folks, for our parents, for our staff to understand why we changed. It also will be an adjustment to realize that the things that have to go into committee have to come into that first meeting of the month. If not, people feel like there's this delay, but it's a purposeful delay, so we govern very directly and we get lots of feedback before we take a final vote. So that's why we've done what we've done. I think tonight we saw some success. We will get better and better at it, and I think be more and more successful. So that is all I had. Mostly thank you to the Teacher Forum for all the wonderful gifts and for our staff helping us move into this new process.
Madam Chair, that's one of the better things you've done since you've been on this board, is make these meetings much shorter. Thank you very much. I'm so proud of you.
And I was going to say, and we got all the work done, and it's 7:30. Woo! I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
I made the motion.
There's a motion by Mr. Ramsey.
Second.
A second by Mr. Wright. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.